And welcome back to part two. Trying to finish up this door topper, and a little frustrating. But as I look at my cuts going through, they're not bad. Um, I don't think I need to revisit any. I guess I was just being a little bit over analyzing what I was doing. But I wound up. Let me get my little pointer here. I wound up changing my blade out to put a sharper number three on. And I think I'm just going to keep doing what I was doing. As I get to too many, some tight areas, I'll nibble and then just work my way around till we get to the straights and keep nibbling as I go. But yeah, I think so far, um, other than sometimes the blade doesn't respond the way that I like, it's not too bad. So I think what I'm going to do is mute and get the vacuums on. Actually, I've got the heater on. Let me turn the heater off. It's cold in here, but if I leave the heater on and turn the vacuums on, there's a chance that I'll pop a circuit breaker. Happened once, but don't want it to happen again. So let's see. Let me make sure that you can see everything. It looks like you can. So there we go. Let's mute things and get going. Here we go. Okay, you might have noticed that I just had the blade as I was turning it over here. I think you can see it. Yes, you can. And the blade had just snapped back because I was putting so much pressure here. And I made the decision just to continue the cut where it had snapped in. Otherwise, I would have had a little notch there that I would have had to clean up anyway. So I let that go. Now, the other thing that you're going to notice that I started doing, and let's see, I think you can see it here. Like when I was making these turns, I started, I guess you can call it bouncing the wood. I'd be jiggling like this. So I was taking pressure off the front part of the blade and moving it to the back. So that was allowing me to do a little nibble in a way so that I can make the turns, especially these inside turns, a little bit easier. The blade does like to stay angled this way. Uh, so when you're turning, it will do that. When you're coming around this way, so let me see if I can do this. So when you're coming around this way, the blade, rather than coming back to the straight, it wants to stay at an angle. So what I'm trying to do is bounce it back and forth so that it's giving it a little bit more room to start flexing back into its regular position without putting additional friction on the blade. So I'm trying to keep the friction down. So yeah, that's why you see me doing that. Uh, and again, I just have to make decisions as I go along. Like I said here, when I was coming down here and it bounced back, that was from the pressure that I had on it, and I released it just enough to go where I didn't want it to go. But again, this is a little bit more abstract, so not super critical, so I'm not panicking. But right now, I just wanted to take a chance to stop for a moment to also make my plans how I want to work this and then start the straight cuts till we get over to this area here. But I will say the trees were a whole lot easier because you come in, you nibble, you go up, easy turn, nibble, come across or nibble across, come down, slight nibble. So these look complex, but they really are not. So we're going to have another one over here as we go along. Okay, let me get everything back in place, get everything muted, and the vacuum's on and music on. Okay, so let's take a breather here for a moment. So as you can see, when I came up this side, actually, I can start back here. You can see that I made this turn around here, then nibbled, came back to get that upstroke, had this nibble here so I could turn, little nibble here, made that line there. Then you can see I went past, nibbled, and then did a straight line this way that kind of lines up with this. So I was able to stop the blade, spin things around, and back it up. So now I am pretty much set for this stroke here, a little nibble, and then I'll do the same thing here. I'll come out, go a little past, nibble out, and go like that. Uh, that just gives me the nice sharp corners, and there you go. That was a quick explanation there. I think this so far has been going pretty good on this go round. One of the other things that let me point out, let me pull that away, is when I came this way, you'll notice that I had stopped. You can't quite see it. Maybe you can see it on this side. While I was matching on this side, I had, let's see, there, where is it? I forgot where I was. Uh, there it is. Okay. So as I was coming up, I went only halfway from the recommended line. That's the same thing I did on this side because I was afraid that if I went to the lines, that's all that would be supporting this entire piece here, weakening it. So by only going halfway, I've tripled the amount of supporting area. So that's why I did that. I think I explained it in another video. So there you go. I think, man, that looks like it's at an angle. Uh, we'll see how that is as I start it. If anything, it'll go off and I'll freehand it. So I see something, I keep it in the back of my mind. So yeah, let's get the vacuums back on and keep on keeping on. Think, oh, I didn't mute it. Come on, I'm trying to use a touchpad here. Okay, so let me just take a quick breather here. Um, so now we're getting to the end of this. So this is pretty good. So yeah, you can see that I nibbled out here, and I will turn it and then start my cuts this way. But yeah, I need to take a little bit of a breather here because it is kind of wears on you when you're trying to record and do it in one or two long stretches. So, oh, and I didn't bring my drink out. Oh, nuts. Okay. So you'll notice that when I do some of these nibble sharp turns, sometimes I stop the blade and I'll snap it like that. This way, I'm not going to accidentally cut something. And you'll see that I actually, rather than start it lined up like this, sometimes I'll start it and the blade is going, then I'll bring it in. What that's actually doing, believe it or not, creating a little bit of friction on the side that smooths out the cut just to the side of the blade, and it gets me positioned pretty well, so then I can just start bringing it up. Now, one of the things you'll notice uh, on this here is that I slow down a lot. I go slow, so I'm letting the blade do the work. Because if you notice, sometimes when I do the push pull, you don't want to push too hard. That's where you can, mess up a little bit more. So the main thing that you want to do is let the blade and the blade speed do the work. So anyway, all right, let me stretch my neck a little bit, get my shoulders and fingers. It's cold in here, and let's get on it. Okay, oh, my hands are cold and stiff. Let's switch over to the wide. Okay, and the top should come right out. Come on. All right, I need to get a little bit better. There we go. Okay, let me try doing things stretched. Doesn't quite work. Okay, so we have one more cut to do. Let's take a look at the backside here so you can get a general idea what it's looking like now. Wow, that looks really good. All right, so what I need to do is bring this over to my bandsaw. So you're not going to be able to see this, but you probably should be able to hear it as I do this. Let's see. Right now I'm trying to line things up. Um, I already had the fence up, and I'm probably going to wind up doing this freehand. But let's see how that fence goes. Here we go. Oops, got to turn it on. I also have a foot switch on this. Actually, that's tracking really well. Right on the line. Well, coming off a little bit, but very slight. I'm actually doing it by eye now. Whoops. I'm in the shadows, so I'm not able to see the line here. Damn. There we go. I'm going to have to put this on my belt sander to smooth that out. Just about done. Yeah, I messed up a little bit here. Okay. Let's put that back in. Here we go. Uh, yeah, the bandsaw definitely is a rough cut. I don't think I'm ever going to do that again for a finish cut. So let's see. Let's get this spread out a little bit. So there you go. I got two pieces out of it. Now, what I'm going to do, my hands are really shaky right now. I'm going to start peeling off the pattern. Let's see. I'm going to get this out of the way. So this is the advantage of using clear shelf liner. It comes off really nice. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I have a small belt sander that I'm going to put this on, smooth that out because I don't know if you can see it. It's a really rough cut. I should have just thrown on a number 7 or a number 9 blade and did it by eye because I can cut long straight lines. But I just got the bandsaw. Man, that really kind of ticks me off. And I thought it would do it. You know, I can't see what I'm doing here. So yeah, that peels off real nice. Let's see. Yeah, you can't see there. Yeah, that stays nice. I think once I do the sanding, that should, because I'll be going like that, I'll be going like that. That should be really good. So there you go. I have two of the door toppers. They came out very nice, and I'm actually I'm pleased with it. Other than for what I did here, that was a stupid move on my part. The first one worked out really well, but again, it's kind of rough. But sandpaper always takes care of that. Sanding always takes care of that. So what I'm going to do is take my orbital. I'll be doing the front and back of each of these on the orbital. I will take, yeah, I took a hefty gouge. Let's see. Right here, I took a hefty gouge when I readjusted. That was stupid. So not perfect. So yeah, I'll sand that, finish it, and we will be good to go. And that completes the door topper of the church in the woods with a little bit of snow. So we'll figure out what I'm going to do for the next project. I do have some ornaments, some biblical story ornaments. I'm doing a series. I've been working on the design and debating if, how, when I'm actually going to do those. So we'll see how that goes um, when I decide to actually start cutting. The wood came in, so um, it's just a matter of getting motivated, or maybe I've got a few toys to do, but I've got issues there getting my CPCS or CPCS or CPSC certification. The website's not working properly. And I really do not want to give out toys if I cannot certify my toys legally. Um, so I may just do toys to give away to family and friends, but to strangers, to hospitals, to the police departments, that may not happen until I can get the recertification taken care of. Starting to lose my voice here. Uh, so there we go. I think that's it. My plan is maybe to do one live a month and no more than one a week on the videos. Maybe one every other week. I'm really not sure right now because I got a lot going on. So keep that in mind and make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell so you know when I do put something out. Um, when you get the email, ignore the dates on them a lot of times because I forget to change the date. So if I do a live, it'll say the date like 3 days before or something like that, or a year before for that matter. Just know that I am going live at that moment. So, with that, may the Lord richly bless you. Make it a great day right here at Poppy's Workshop.